What is going on, guys? Rango12 here, and we are finally back with the Silk series. So you guys are probably asking, Rango, why in the hell have I taken this long to review this? And let me put it into perspective for you. Since I reviewed Silk issue 2, I have reviewed the beginning of Secret Wars, the final issue to Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man, and I've also reviewed 40 issues of Peter Parker Ultimate Spider-Man. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you'll be happy that I'm returning to this series, and I actually feel really refreshed as well because the artwork in this is like none other comic book that I've reviewed in a while. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into this, and I hope you guys are too. So without further ado, let's go! So it's been so long that some of you guys might not even remember what happened in issue 2, so let me jog your memories a little bit. Silk had a fight with an octopus monster in the sewers. She looked into a cafe and remembered breaking up with the love of her life to pretend move away, when actually she was being locked up because she got bit by the spider. And of course, towards the end of the issue, we got those mysterious figures watching over Silk. I honestly believe that they could be her parents, something along those lines, or maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. And at the very end of the issue, there was someone about to attack Silk, and that is where the issue ended. And this issue is where it's picking it up from. So the villain that was about to attack her was actually Dragonclaw, who she originally fought in Silk issue 1, or was it issue 2? I think it was issue 1. And he's back with upgrades, and he's now going by the name Rage, which in my opinion is a little bit of a cliche name, like it's not really that good, but I believe that it's supposed to be like that, you know, because he's a bit of an amateur villain, etc. Now, going over to the artwork of the comic, nothing I have reviewed recently actually looks like this comic, which is actually really refreshing, especially because I haven't reviewed this series in a while. Now, in my opinion, I believe that me not reviewing this series for a while has kind of been an eye-opener, especially because you notice things that I wouldn't usually notice. Like, for instance, have you seen the way Silk talks in her head? It is completely different to the way Spider-Man talks. Like, she kind of thinks about everything she's doing. Like, she says that she can't move, she says that she can't breathe. She kind of just makes a joke in her head every single second, and it's something that I didn't notice before until now. Moving on throughout and further into the issue, you can see that Silk has just had a van launched at her, and she ends up passing out. Now, during this passing out stage, she actually has a flashback to her Ezekiel days. I hope I'm saying his name right, but this is back when she first got locked up, and she's pretty angry. Obviously, she's been taken away from her life, she's been taken away from her childhood, and just locked up in a room, being taught how to fight, being taught, well, pretty much nothing else, not really being told why she's being locked up except because the spider bit her. And she starts going crazy on Ezekiel, and it kind of reflects back on her rage against this, well, I was going to say this Rage character, but maybe I should just say her anger towards this Rage villain. And I honestly have no idea why. It's like, simply does she start just having a flashback and going crazy on him? Like, what is her reason for going crazy on this villain? I don't really understand that, so it kind of left me questioning why she was doing this, because this villain isn't really anything major. He's just kind of like a new amateur villain, so there's not really anything to kickstart that anger towards him from Silk, so I was quite confused by that. However, I love this voiceover dialogue from Ezekiel that is going on whilst Silk is fighting this villain, and it's kind of bouncing off of what the villain is saying as well. So even though Ezekiel is saying stop, the villain is also saying stop as well, and that is when the villain reveals himself to be just this ordinary guy. Now, we kind of already knew this, obviously. We didn't actually think that this guy was whatever he looks like. Silk actually realizes what she's doing, how bad she's actually hurting this guy, and then decides to sit down and talk with him. And I like that sharp turn that the comic took, because it went from Silk beating the crap out of him to sitting down and having a normal conversation with him, and I think that's a powerful thing to do. What I also like is that we get this little bit of a backstory from the villain, and we find out that his real name is Harris Porter, and we discover that he's got a daughter, and because that he's had a crime in the past and everything like that, he can't exactly get a job, so the only job that he can get is working for Black Cat to take down Silk. And she offers to help him. She takes him to the emergency room. She explains to him that Parker Industries right now is actually looking for criminals to, you know, rehabilitate, to give work to and stuff like that, which is awesome of Peter Parker to do. And while Silk is sorting all of this out, Black Cat actually pounces upon Silk and starts beating the crap out of her. Now, one thing that actually took me by surprise was when Silk said, wait a minute, didn't you used to be a good guy? And I actually forgot that Black Cat used to be a good guy, like used to be a little bit on the edge. Obviously, she used to be a little bit of a villain, but she wasn't like psychopath crazed villain, if you get what I mean. And if you think all the way back to Superior Spider-Man, Black Cat has been evil ever since Dr. Octopus as Superior Spider-Man got her thrown in jail. So Black Cat has been going over to the dark side for quite a while, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of bored with Black Cat being an evil person. He just doesn't really match her character. So hopefully one day she'll go back to being normal Black Cat, because I don't know, she had that whole finesse going down with her, and I loved that she was different compared to all the other villains. What we learned from the encounter between Silk and Black Cat is the fact that Black Cat is a hell of a lot faster than Silk. Now, obviously not by much, but I was actually rather surprised by this because Silk is known for being fast. So for Black Cat to only have luck powers kind of seems a little bit overpowered in my opinion. But next time Black Cat is bringing guns to the table, and of course that is not good news for Silk, and maybe even Spider-Man. Now going over to Silk, she's had a long day and Spider-Man is there to try and help her. Obviously her powers are still all over the place, Silk's spider sense is still all over the place, and she's not listening to Spider-Man Peter Parker at all. So Spider-Man actually brought the Fantastic Four with him to help convince Silk and get her to talk about whatever's going on with her, and that is where the issue ends, with it saying to be continued. And of course that is where the next issue is going to see a kind of little bit of a date slash play thing going on with Johnny Storm and Silk, or should I say Cindy Moon. So that's going to be awesome to see. And of course I've got the issue right next to me here because it's been so long that pretty much all of the issues are already out. But guys, what did you think of this issue? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know how excited you are that I'm reviewing this series again, whether you want me to continue it. I hope you guys do. We'll obviously catch up to the current issue very soon. But until then, guys, I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. And in the meantime, you can go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook for all the latest in comic book news and updates. Of course, guys, if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll know that I do updates on my videos, whether it's been uploaded, etc. But today, I also did like a little bit of a vote to ask you guys, what should I upload next? Ultimate Spider-Man, the next part to Shattered Dimensions, the next issue to Hail Hydra, or Silk? And Silk actually got the most responses, technically, so that is why we're reviewing Silk. So guys, if you want to be a part of that, then go and follow me on Twitter by going to the link in the description. And of course, if you want to know what I'm doing in my free time when I'm not editing these videos, then follow me on Instagram as well. And guys, for more, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will see you all in my next video.